In the previous class, we had discussed about the transportation in human beings, and we had discussed about the pumping organ heart and its function. So now we will discuss about the transportation in plants. Like human being, plants also need to be transported some materials or minerals. So we know that plants take in simple compounds. Plants take in simple compounds to photosynthesize their energy. For example, carbon dioxide. Plants need carbon dioxide to photosynthesize its energy, which is in the organ, in a chlorophyll containing organ, that is called leaves. So in the leaves, the plant is photosynthesizing energy because it contains chlorophyll and it needs the raw material as carbon dioxide. So the other kinds of raw materials which are needed for the building of the plant bodies, that also have to be taken up separately. So for example, for plants, the soil is the nearest and the richest source of raw materials like nitrogen, phosphorus and other minerals. So the absorption of these substances therefore occurs through the part in contact with the soil. So root helps to absorb water and mineral because root is the nearest and richest source of raw materials, because the soil is the richest and nearest source of raw materials like nitrogen, phosphorus and other minerals. So the root is helping to absorb water and minerals from the soil. The root is in the contact with the soil, so water and minerals are absorbed through the root. And if the distance between the soil contacting organs, that is root, if the distance between the root and the leaves which contains chlorophyll, if the distance between two is more, then there need a proper transportation system. In that condition, in that situation, when the distance between the root and the leaves that is different, that is more, then the plants need a proper transportation system. And if the distance is not so large, if the distance is not much, then the diffusion process will be able to transport all the substances. The raw materials easily can diffuse to all parts of the plant body, and energy also can be easily diffused. But the distance, when the distance is more, diffusion is not diffusion process that will not be sufficient to provide raw materials in the leaves and energy to all parts of the body or to the roots. So the leaves needs the raw material to photosynthesize energy, and roots also need energy with other parts of the plant. So the if the distance between root and leaves, because root provide most of the raw material to the leaves, if the root and the leaf, the distance between the root and the leaf is not much, then the diffusion process can easily diffuse the raw materials and energy to the all parts of the plant body. But if the distance is large, then the diffusion process is not sufficient to provide raw material in the leaves or energy in the other parts of the plant body. That time a proper system of transportation is essential, because energy need differs between different body designs. Plants do not move. The plant bodies have a large proportion of dead cells in many tissues, so that they have low energy needs. Plants have low energy needs because they have large proportion of dead cells in many tissues. That is why their transport system is also slow. Since they have low energy needs, they can use relatively slow transport system. And when the distance when the distance is large, the transport system also very large in plants. Like in cases of tall trees, you can see that some trees are very tall. So for that also transportation system has to be large, because of the distance is high, between the roots and the chlorophyll containing organ, that is called leaves. So you can say that the small plants they don't need a transportation system, because the distance between the root and leaves is very small, so the raw materials and energy can easily diffuse. But in case of tall trees, when the distance is very high, that time the plants need a proper transport system, and it also can be very large. To carry out the raw materials, or to transport the transport the energy, but the plants have low energy needs. That is why they can use the slow transport system. So plant transport system will move energy stores from leaves and raw materials from roots. So they move energy from the leaves and raw materials from the roots. So they have two pathways. They are using two pathways. One is to carry the food or the energy, and the other one is to carry the raw materials like water and minerals. So there are two pathways. These are constructed as independently organized conducting tubes, or we can say the two conducting tubes are there, that is called xylem and phloem. So two tubes are there, xylem and phloem. Xylem moves the water and minerals. Xylem helps to move the water and minerals. Phloem helps to transport the food. So phloem helps to transport the food and the products of photosynthesis like amino acids and some other products along with the food. So it transports the products of photosynthesis to all the parts of the plant, and the xylem transports the water and minerals from root to different parts of the plant like leaves, chlorophyll containing parts, that is leaves. Xylem transports water and minerals and phloem transports the product of photosynthesis. So now we will discuss about these two pathways or two conducting tubes. So first of all we will discuss about the xylem. So in xylem tissue, the vessels, tracheates of the root, stems and leaves are interconnected to form a continuous system of water conducting channels reaching to all parts of the plant. So they form a continuous system. So the tracheates, the vessels, tracheates of the root, stem and leaf, they are interconnected to form a continuous system of water conducting channels that is reaching to all the parts of the plant. So at the root, the cells in contact with the soil, they are actively taking up the ions, which creates a difference in the concentration of these ions between the root and the soil. So the difference between the concentration of ions between the root and the soil is created. Therefore, water moves up to the root from the soil to eliminate this difference. That means there is a steady movement of water into root xylem, creating a column of water that is steadily pushed upwards. And there is also the pressure which is created, that is itself very enough to move the water upwards to the heights in tall trees, that we can see that the plants height, some of the trees are very tall. So we can see that means water is moving upwards to that height. So the pressure itself is very enough to move the water upwards to the heights. Otherwise plants also have another strategy to move the water upward, that is when the plant has an adequate supply of water, the water is lost through the stomata. We know that water is evaporated, or when the water is lost from the plant, that is called transpiration. So the water which is lost through the stomata, that is replaced by the water from the xylem vessels in the leaf. So the loss of water from the plant body, that is known as transpiration, or the evaporation of water. When the water is lost, that molecules from the cells of a leaf creates a suction. Suction means create a force produced by the pressure difference. They produce force because of the pressure difference, which pulls the water from the xylem cells of the roots. So that means the leaf creates a suction which pulls the water from the xylem cells of the roots. The loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial part, that is the loss of water, is called transpiration, and the transpiration helps in the absorption of upward movement of water and minerals dissolved in it from roots to leaves. So transpiration also has important role. It also helps in the absorption and upward movement of water and minerals which are dissolved in it from the roots to the leaves. So transpiration also helps in the upward movement of water and minerals. Xylem is transporting water and minerals from the root. Similarly, phloem is also used to transport the products of photosynthesis or the products of metabolic processes which are taking place, particularly the photosynthesis, from the leaves to different parts of the plants. So the transport of soluble products of photosynthesis, that is called translocation. Which is taking place in the vascular tissue called phloem. So that is called the transportation of soluble products of photosynthesis, that is called translocation. The transportation of soluble products of photosynthesis by using phloem, that is called translocation. So along with the products of photosynthesis, it also transports the amino acids and other substances. So these substances are specially delivered to the storage organs of roots, fruit and seeds, and to the growing organs. So the translocation of food and other substances takes place in the seed tubes. This takes place in the seed tubes with the help of adjacent companion cells, both in the upward and downward direction. So now you might have noticed a difference that when xylem is transporting water and minerals, it is transporting in one direction. It is transporting only in one direction, but phloem, when the products, soluble products of photosynthesis or the amino acids or other substances are transported by using phloem, then it transport it in both the directions, that is upward and downward, with the help of seed tubes, with the help of adjacent companion cells. So this translocation takes place in sieve tubes with the help of adjacent companion cells in both upward and downward direction. Unlike xylem takes place only in one direction, but in phloem the transportation takes place in both the direction, upward and downward movement takes place. So the translocation needs the utilization of energy. So for translocation it needs energy. So material like sucrose is transferred into phloem tissue using the energy from ATP, so which increases the osmotic pressure. So when the sucrose is transferred to the phloem tissue using energy from the ATP, it increases the osmotic pressure of the tissue, causing water to move in it. So that is why this pressure moves the material in the phloem to tissue which have less pressure, and allows the phloem to move material according to the plant's need. So here osmotic pressure also plays an important role, because when the osmotic pressure is increased, the tissue causes water to move into it, and the pressure moves the material into the phloem to tissue which have less pressure, and allows the phloem to move material according to the plant's needs. So this is how the plants get the food, the photosynthesis, the products of photosynthesis by translocation, and the plants get the water and minerals from the xylem through the roots. So these are both the pathways how they are getting the raw material and the energy. So how the transportation takes place in the plants, for that in plants have two pathways, that is xylem and phloem. One is carrying water and raw materials, and another one transports the soluble products of photosynthesis, amino acids and some other products. So now you can read in your book also, you will be more clear about it. Next class we will study about the excretory system.